Joined by Mr. Roger Federer. Now, normally we get you in here, we're going to ask you about your matches, but we're going to kind of let that slide right now. We just want to know what you had for lunch with the Queen of England.
Well, what do we have? We had salmon and chicken and...
Kentish strawberries and blackberries with Cornish clotted cream.
It was fantastic. She chose to have cheese instead of the strawberry and cream.
Can you let us in a little bit on the conversation? What you chatted about? We saw the little lineup of all the players, and you were the last one. You gave her the nice shook hands with her, and what was the chit chat?
Well, that was the short part, really. Introduction by the chairman, Tim Phillips, and after that I was lucky enough to have lunch with her. So I was sitting right next to her, my wife next to me, Tim Henman next to her, Venus next to Tim Henman, and there was other Wimbledon champions from back in the day, Virginia Wade, and so forth. So it was a very nice lunch for us, and so we spent an hour together talking about London Olympics. She knew about my scores in some shape or form.
Really?
She knew I got a fright in the first round. She heard about the Isner match yesterday.
She did?
Yeah, she was very well aware of things, and she was very relaxed, really. It was a pleasure talking to her.
Wow.
You always seem so relaxed, no matter where you are, who you are. Was there, did any of you players show any kind of nervous meeting royalty? How'd you feel?
I mean, I was somewhat relaxed because I've met many famous or
people,
important people, but obviously you're never quite prepared, and I knew the meeting on the lawn was going to be somewhat brief, so there's not much you can do wrong. You can just stand there and it's going to be perfect. But many of the other players, I had the feeling were somewhat nervous because there's a tradition and a protocol that goes with it, and that kind of freaks you out too.
Can I ask you about that? Because you're supposed to not. You can put your hand out to shake hands, or she has to do it first. Were you schooled at all on how to act in front of the Queen?
No, I wasn't too schooled, actually. I stood there and I asked Novak, so...
What do we do?
What's the deal?
Yeah.
Well, you were asking him. Shouldn't he have been asking you?
Yeah, but I knew he was going to know because he looked like he looked like he was ready to know all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And he's like, no, you bow and then you do this, and I was like, okay. Because I was last in line, so I had the easy part. I saw what everybody else was doing.
I see. Okay.
But you served in volley. You went after it.
I don't know. I mean, I hope everything was correct and she's not upset with me.
Well, let's ask you just quickly about your tennis, because if the Queen was interested and she knew what was going on, you had a big fright in the first round, a little bit of a fright in the second round, which you played on court 2 for the first time. Sorry, on court 1 for the first time in a few years.
Yeah.
Where do you feel your game is at the moment?
Well, obviously the two matches were very different. The first match was played from the baseline. The second round was played only purely on serve and the return. Good thing in the second round now I wasn't broken, so that's always a positive thing. You walk away with confidence. I definitely have to got some work to do, but I don't think I'm playing all that bad. It's just a matter of the guy played really good in the first round, and I got caught behind and never could really relax and play freely. And only once when I was ahead in the score, I really was able to go after my shots. So I have to just start to do that earlier in the match. Next round, again, is very different to my second round match. It's going to be more like the first round. So it's going to be interesting to see how I'll get through this first week, and then we'll have the weekend off, and hopefully I can attack again on Monday.
That work that you have to do, that you talk about, is that just that you try to do in the match, or will you work on a little bit on the practice court as well?
Well, a bit of both. I mean, I was hoping for some more rallies yesterday to get a feel for how I need to play from the baseline, but there was just no room for that. I mean, he was serving volleying, he was taking huge chances on the return, and that's why in the practice I was playing 2-on-1s, to redirect my backhand to the backhand corner, to the forehand corner, play my forehand well, and I was struggling a little bit on the return, these last couple of matches. So I hope that improves as well.
I want to go back to the Queen for a moment, and the fact that you talked about the London Olympics. You've already expressed your enthusiasm for playing, and that thing's not for a couple of years now. You seem to me to be the kind of man who is so steeped in the history, more than any player I've known since I mean, you are so mindful and respectful of the history. I got to think that 40 years from now, you're going to be in the royal box on special occasions, and you're going to come and continue to honor the sport. Is that a good guess?
I mean, I think if the schedule would allow me to, and obviously I would.
No engagements.
Yeah, no engagements.
No,
right.
yeah, of course, but no.
But you just seem like that kind
I
of man.
absolutely feel. I don't know. I don't think I could do what Bjorn Borg did and not come back for 25 years,
way.
because I'm waiting for the day where maybe I'm not a player anymore and I can just come here as a member and enjoy the grounds and enjoy the sort of the club when it's not the tournament, but then also still be here maybe on big occasions like what Pete did last year, or obviously McEnroe, John, your brother, he works here, or Becker, he works here as well, as a commentator. But regardless if you're a commentator or not, I just think it's nice to come back here on special occasions, like you say.
I see a silver-haired Federer in the Royal
Like my
Box.
dad, right?
Yes, very, very much so.
That's right.
And I just think that's lovely. When people talk about how much longer is he going to play, he's going to struggle to stay number one. You've heard every conversation. My sense of things is you still like every single bit of this sport.
Yeah, I do.
Not just the majors, and you're willing to practice. You're willing to stay fit.
Well, I think you need to practice extremely hard to stay at the top, because as we see, margins are very small, and like you say as well, it's not only the Grand Slams, it's smaller tournaments as well. The intimate atmosphere at smaller events can be also very nice and very relaxing at times, not always 250 players around plus thousands and thousands of fans. I like the change, and I quite need that to actually stay positive and motivated for the future.
Before we let you go, Roger, because we know you have other engagements too, okay, like the Queen, but I got to get your quick thought on that Isner-Mahut match.
You kept postponing the press conference
Speaking of
yesterday,
history, I mean, can you believe what you saw? And we're going to continue to see that today.
This was the court.
This is the court. We have a nice view.
Yeah, you have the best spot. I mean, I walked on court at, I think it was 11-all in the fifth. Came back. Well, obviously they were showing the score every change of ends, so it went from 32, 33.
Oh, so you were watching it during your 4-set match?
Yeah, they were always showing it, and the crowds were going like, oh, and they were just waiting for it to end, And
the scoreboard broke.
I saw that.
47-all.
Yeah. So when I came back and they were still playing, I mean, I had to watch probably at least 6, 7, 8 games, and every point you go like, all right, this is his chance, he's going to make it.
Right.
Boom, he's not going to make it,
Race.
And I mean, for me, it was an amazing match to watch, heroic effort from both ends, and the stats are just out there. I mean,
mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling, really. I mean, the ace stats, whatever stats you take. I mean, playing only for one set, 7 hours from 2 to 9 p.m. It's crazy,
crazy.
And I respect him. I shook John's hand last night and said, I mean, this is unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I was speechless, really. I didn't know what to say, and I was looking for Mahut, but he was under the shower. And hopefully one day we can do something for the boys, because this is something very, very special for our game.
Well, Roger, listen, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.